What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Kind of a rough week for us Spurs fans as we had 4 games last week and only finished 1-3, losing a tight one to the Suns, getting beat by the Knicks, then beating the Nuggets, who admittedly were coming off a back-to-back overtime game. But then the Nuggets showed us who they are last night. They are who we thought they were when they were at full power and laid the smack down on us at home in the AT&T Center. I'm going to get my version to a report card. While I'm doing so, drop a comment down below. What did you like about last week? What you didn't like? Any particular players stand out? Anybody that made you say, please, for the love of Pop, put him on the bench. Hit that thumbs up if you like, support the channel, and subscribe for more Spurs content. Let's get into it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, anyway, starting off with Dejounte Murray. I thought he had a good and bad week. 6.5 rebounds, 8.5 assists. Mind you, with his minutes being down a little bit, that's great. 1.5 steals, good too. But if we're going to win games, Dejounte Murray has to score more than 14.5 points per game. And also his turnovers were up last week, which I'm sure helped contribute to some points for the other team. Averaged 3.5 turnovers. He's usually around 2 turnovers a week. So we're just going to need a little more from Dejounte to get on the winning side of things. You may say, need more. What else do you want from him? Well, he set the bar high. We're used to seeing 19, 8, and 2 steals and 2 turnovers, so that's what the Spurs need from him to win, and he can do it. I know he can do it, so hopefully he has some better weeks moving forward. But overall, he's having a great year and should be on the All-Star team. You heard it here, 5th, 6th, or 7th. Anyway, up next, Derrick White. Another good week for Derrick. I think he's finally turned a corner. His three-point shooting, unfortunately, is still lackluster at 25%, but overall, 47% from the field, over 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and more importantly, right around 18 points per game. And I see a pattern here. When the Spurs are winning, Dejounte and Derrick are both scoring around 20. We're going to need that moving forward. Yes, I know his plus minus is minus 15.3 for you analytical folks that like that stat. But the whole starting lineup was in the negative because we got blown out or had some pretty rough games this week, so I'm not going to focus on that too much. Up next, Keldon Johnson. A weird week for Keldon Johnson. I'm going to say this is a good, bad, good week. The good is he is nailing his three-pointers. He's right now best three-point shooter on the team over the last few weeks. He just has really found his stroke, and I would like to see him take more shots. 10.7 points per game is just not going to cut the bread or slice the bread. Now, granted, his minutes were down and his scoring down because he played only half against the Knicks and went out with an ankle injury, so that's the bad thing. Keldon got really beat up this week. Hurt his thumb in the game against the Knicks. Rolled his ankle, which looked really bad, and he got popped in the face at the start of the third quarter, no pun intended, and just went out, and he missed the third game of the week versus the Nuggets. But the good is, none of the injuries were serious, so it looks like he's going to be okay moving forward, although he could be on a minutes restriction tonight against the Pelicans because of the ankle. Maybe he won't even play, but at least he looked healthy last night. Keldon, hope you get more involved in the offense moving forward over the rest of the season because we know he's got the talent. Or just set up something to get him more three-point shots because he's hitting those three-pointers at such an incredible clip right now. Up next, Doug McDermott, who also had a really weird week. If we're looking at the week as a whole, Doug had a good week. 46% from the field, 43% from beyond the arc, and 11 points per game. That's what I expect of him pretty much regularly throughout the week. But I'm putting an asterisk on that because last night he disappeared and had an ugly game against the Denver Nuggets. He scored as many points as I did. 0. Contributed nothing. So, good week overall, but we're going to need Doug to score more than 0 if we're going to win any games. Up next, the man in the middle, Jakob Turtle Power Poeltl. Yep, good week. Jakob just been very steady throughout the season, shooting well from the field, giving us 7, 8, 9 rebounds. He actually passed very well last week, 4.5 assists per game, and got about 2 blocks per game, 10.5 points. I like what I'm seeing from Jakob pretty much all throughout every week, except for the free throw shooting. Hit a free throw, and then last night I did watch the first half of the Denver Nuggets game. At another point where Jakob, I just feel like doesn't quite have that game we want around the rim. He got an offensive rebound. His back was to it. All he had to do was jump up, spin around, and throw that thing down with 2 hands, but instead he passed it out. I'm like, dunk it. What you're passing it. Whoop, hit everything there. Whoops. It's just, I just feel like a more athletic player and somebody that's just, has that dunk on their mind, that, throw it down mentality, knows where they are, and then jumps up and boom, shakalaka's it with one hand. And Jakob instead, his first instinct was kick it out. So it is what it is. Overall, though, he's really doing a lot for this team and playing much better than his contract, what he's getting paid for compared to other centers in the NBA. Let's jump to the bench. Whew, good to see this guy finally come to life. Lonnie Walker. I got to give him a good week. Yes, he started slow against the Suns and Knicks, but had back-to-back good games versus the Nuggets, and hopefully this turns his season around. He's finished the week 44% from the field, which is way up for him, 39% from the arc, and back to double-digit scoring at 11.5. We're really going to need that scoring off the bench. Really, this team as a whole, for us to win games, we're going to need everybody to give us some points. Lonnie, Dejounte, Derrick, Hillman, everybody, because when I think about this team, I don't think we've had anybody hit 30 points in a game yet this season. A lot of NBA teams have that guy that can go out there and get 30 or 40, maybe more. We don't have that right now. Nobody has done that. And I'm not sure when they will. I don't know who's going to be that guy that can do that. I think we've had a couple players at 27, 29, but we're going to need everybody to contribute, and Lonnie's going to have to be one of those players, whether it's 10, 15, or 20. That's the type of team we are right now. We're team ball. Everybody scores. 7 guys in double digits. Lonnie, I hope you turn your season around because this is your contract here. You got to show the Spurs, or at least the NBA, that you deserve another contract moving forward. And I think a team will pick him up if the Spurs don't. But I'm glad to see he's starting to turn things around. Up next, I don't think we'd see him here again. Look who's back. Drew Eubanks, who appears to have to regain his backup spot. And for that, I'm going to give him a good week. He played well. And say what you will about Drew Eubanks. He's not the most talented big man on the team, but at least he's fun to watch. He's getting into little fights with the opposing team, or falling on the floor, or throwing down huge thunder dunk of justice when he's open, or offensive rebounds. That mentality I want Jakob Poeltl to have. Drew's mentality is when he's near the rim, boom, throw it down, and Jakob is just like, ole, or kick it out. So, Drew, you're at least fun to watch. I'll give you that, and I always see the effort there. So, good job. Trey Jones really starting to carve his role like a Thanksgiving turkey in the lineup. Now, I don't know if he's going to keep these type of minutes at 15 minutes per game with Devin Vassell coming back, but at least for the time being, he's been getting a lot more minutes as our backup point guard. And overall, I thought he had a good week. Yeah, the field goal percentage is a little lower than I would like it to be, and the dude cannot hit a three. I mean, teams are just daring him to hit the three. The random time, he'll actually launch it, and he's not hitting them. And yes, I know three-point shooting doesn't need to be a necessity with the guard. You don't have to be a great three-point shooter, but on a team that doesn't have good three-point shooting, that's another hole that we need to fill, so to speak. Or just it's another, in the armor. He had a good week. Whatever. Moving along to Bryn Forbes. Bryn, 17 and a half minutes way up. He'd been averaging around 12. Shot very well from three-point land. Back to double-digit scoring at 11. And you look here, we had 7 guys in double-digit scoring, but we still went 1 and 3. And he had the best plus-minus out of any of the guys here up on the screen, which I don't like to focus on plus-minus too much, but Bryn usually is the guy with the worst plus-minus. And sure, maybe some of these were garbage time minutes, but he had the best plus-minus. So, good on you. Talking about players that maybe a limited week or what have you, let's get into those guys. First off, Devin Vassell, welcome back. I expect to see him back up here sooner than later. Played 2 games, 12 points per game. Had a huge dunking in that first game against the Knicks. Welcome back. I didn't see the second half last night of the Spurs game, so I was watching UFC 269. So if something happened there, my apologies. I'm not bringing it up because I don't know about it. UFC 269 was awesome. KBD, you know what? He had a pretty big role this week. Started with Keldon out, and I thought he played well. 3 games, 21.1 minutes, 8.7 points per game. I expect his minutes to get reduced with Keldon and Devin back, but at least when KBD's in there, he's a role player, but he does his best out there, and he's been very adequate this year, or more than adequate. Thaddeus Young. Well, I played a lot last night in the blowout against the Nuggets. I think, I don't know, maybe opening his mouth about not being happy in here, not getting minutes. It's Pop kind of saying, oh, really? Well, to the bench with you, because in the games versus the Suns, Knicks, and Nuggets to start the week, he only played in 3 games. Or he only played in 2 of those 3 games, and he had 9 minutes. So I think he's lost his role. And I don't know if talking or yapping about it has cost him his position on the team, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with Thaddeus Young moving forward. I do expect him to get traded before the trade deadline. Teams will start making their trades this week. I keep hearing December 15th is a date. It's something with the contract, and you have to be with the team 3 months or something. I don't know. I'm not an expert with NBA contract rules and regulations, but I expect a lot of moves for a lot of teams to start happening later this week, and I think Thad is going to go somewhere. I don't know for what. Maybe a second-round pick, but his time with the Spurs is certainly that window, I feel, is closing. Jacques Landale. Off to the G League, but he played 3 minutes for the Spurs this week, and he scored 5 minutes. And he's been doing well in the G League, so there's that. Josh Primo, he's been a ping pong bouncing back and forth between Austin and San Antonio. He played 2 games earlier this week against the Suns and Knicks, got 32 minutes, and I think it was a game against the Suns. He had 3 steals and 4 blocks, enjoying some exclusive company, if you will, in regards to that stat line, which I did a video about. So if you want to check that out, be sure to do so. Unfortunately, last night he did not have a good night in Austin. He was 4-15 from the field with 9 points. I think it's going to be Josh Primo this year. He's 18. We're going to see moments where we go, oh my goodness, believe the hype. This dude's amazing, and I'll probably do a video on it, whatever. And then we're going to have games where he just kind of disappears and doesn't do a lot because of his age and inexperience, where we're like, oh, should we have drafted him? Let's enjoy the year. And, if you don't like it, I'll probably do a video when he does something excellent. And if he joins exclusive company in one of those weird stats, I'll do something probably. I'm just kind of excited about it. Something to be excited about. We have a losing season right now. More than likely, we're going to finish under 500, barring a miracle. Pop probably will get his coaching record, but we are going to get a lottery pick and hopefully a top 3 pick and start building a dynasty again next season. Anyway, moving right along. Joe Weezy, Joe Wieskamp, Joe Mama. Boy, he had a rough game last night. I just checked out the Austin Spurs, who I keep forgetting on ESPN Plus, which I have, so I can check out the games when I'm off, just see what the guys are doing. He was 0 for 8 last night from the field and scored 0 points. Ouch. I'm gonna bring this guy up because he's been killing in the G League. Devontae Kaycock, everybody's favorite, last name of a San Antonio Spurs player, old Kaycock, averaging 19, almost 20 and 12 in the G League and had 20 and 12 last night. He has been killing it. Now I know it's the G League, but. He's a 6'7", 240. He's a bruiser. Maybe we need that type of player on the team. So keep an eye on Devontae down in Austin. He's been doing some interesting stuff. Zach Collins still out, expected after Christmas. But you know what? I was thinking about Zach Collins. There's going to be some rust there. He's not going to get thrust into the starting lineup immediately, or he may be in a bench rotation because of how long he's been out. Could Zach Collins be shipped off to the G League maybe for a month just to get him back into game shape, get him into the rhythm before the Spurs, San Antonio team decide to start to use him? I think he could be. Not as like a demotion, just, hey, you've been out with serious injuries. Let's get you back, make sure you're back in game shape and get you acclimated to the Spurs system. So I think he could possibly be down in Austin for a month just to get some rehab, if you will. Let's wrap this segment up as I'm going a little bit long here with my Spur of the Week. My Spur of the Week is... What? Jacques Landale. He had 5 points in 3 minutes. He's in the G League. Well, you know what? He's my Spur of the Week because he has been annihilating it down in Austin. 2 games, 33.7 minutes, shooting around 82% from the field, 80% from beyond the arc, and averaging 27 points per game. What? Now, obviously, this is not the NBA. We don't know if that'll translate to the NBA, but I figured, you know what? I really couldn't pick a player out of the San Antonio Spurs roster to be the player of the week, because everybody was, I was like, Derrick, maybe, yeah, but that plus-minus was so bad, and then he was bad from beyond the arc. And I thought, you know what? Jacques Landale is showing us something special down in Austin. Now, reading reports, I haven't seen him play. I've read something, I think his lateral movement maybe some issues, or something with rotation. Something defensively needs some work, but offensively, he's showing us he could be an offensive juggernaut. So Jacques Landale, I say keep him down in Austin for the rest of the month. Maybe keep him there to January. Maybe keep him down there till after the All-Star break. And if he keeps playing like this, let him just keep building the momentum, keep crushing it, crushing the enemies, seeing them driven before them, and hearing the lamentation of the women. Let him keep doing that in Austin, and then bring him up and be like, you know what, Drew, I like you. Well, Thad, you're already gone, and make him our primary backup center because I think we need size. And Zach Collins has played power forward. I have a feeling he's going to be our backup power forward to Doug McDermott when it's all said and done before the season's done, which gives us much needed size. Something the Spurs team desperately needs is size. I'm excited to see what Jacques Landale is going to do in the G League. Congratulations. You're the Spur of the Week for the first time from TSR Sports. You don't know who I am, probably don't care, but hey, good for you. And we'll wrap this video up with, up next, the Pelicans, Hornets, and Jazz. Pelicans tonight, I'll be calling it around 7 or so Eastern. I have the New York Giants game first, and then that game. And hey, if you've watched this long, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We can go 2-1 this week. Let's do it. Thank you all for tuning in. And as always, go Spurs, go!